Okay. So tonight is really all about you. I'm not here to be your lecturer. This is kind of like study hall. So if you didn't do your homework, I don't know about you. Sometimes you're doing sports at night and you might need to do your homework during study hall, right? So it's okay. We'll figure it out tonight. For those that were not with us yesterday, you don't know what the homework is, I'll show you. Well, actually, Judy sent something out, so I probably don't need to show you, but what the hey. I actually have a few things I want to show. So I'm going to share my desktop and minimize a few things. So we were talking about downloading Bitwarden first. And the way we do that is we go to, from a computer, rather, the way we do it from a computer is bitwarden.com/download with the caveat. There is a computer out there that I promptly forget about because I'm not a fan. It is Windows 10 in S mode or Windows 10 S. And what it is Windows basically trying to be like a tablet, except it lacks the app ecosystem to make it as useful as a tablet. So I want to talk about that tonight a little bit. There was a member that asked how they get Bitwarden on it. And then your next bit, actually downloading, if you have a tablet or a smartphone, either you go into the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store and you search for Bitwarden, Bitwarden, all one word. So the second part in this was to actually create your new account. And that you can do through the app, but I actually was showing you how to do it from the web page. So I would suggest doing it from the web page. When you create or submit your account with your password, and remember, the password is going to be a secure, hopefully randomly generated, but short enough to remember password, because these are the keys to the kingdom. This is the keys to everything. So you really want it to be a good password. With the forgiveness of tonight being, you can't forget it. If you forget this password, Bitwarden can't let you in. They don't have a master key to get in. You're just out of luck. So you have to remember this password. So for tonight, you can come up with something else, but you do want to change it promptly. Remember when we talked about character sets, minimum of 12 if you can. That was a couple decades, but 7 characters, yeah, you're beating less than a second, I believe. So you need it to be a randomly generated password. And then to get a randomly generated password without a password manager, I suggested going to lastpass.com/password generator. And I have my screen blocking, so I don't even know if you can see all that. I'm going to stretch it out just a little bit, try to, and make you guys smaller. So this is basically what we were working on for the last 2 nights. And I'd like to talk about Windows 10 S mode. There is a version of Windows that is actually, there's benefits to this. It is theoretically more secure. You can't download apps willy-nilly from anywhere. You actually have to go to an app store. So there is some benefit to it, but the app store is not yet fully fleshed out, unfortunately. So I wanted to share an article with you. I have seen S mode and promptly converted it in the past. So I found an article, and I'm going to move this out of the way. Go there. We go. So here's the article, how to switch out of S mode. Essentially what it does is it takes you out of this, gives you full featured windows so that you can download apps from bitwarden.com or mozilla.org/Firefox or chrome.com, wherever you want to get an app. It makes it more functional, but it theoretically could make it less secure. I mean, you know, they're trying to lock down Windows and make it better, and I applaud them for that, but it does leave you out of a lot of apps. So this URL right here, I did a search. I showed you guys 2 nights ago how to do a search, and I'll do it again for those that were not here. So find your favorite search engine. I don't actually use Google, but I know that's what everybody else uses, so we will go with that. What's that? Oh, sorry. Thought I heard something. So you type the site name and then you type site colon and then the site name. Basically what we're saying is, I want you to do a search from any search engine, but I only want you to give me results from Microsoft.com. So if we type our search term following that string, it's going to find anything related to this on Microsoft.com. So here's what we get. We do a search, make it a little smaller, and you'll notice support.microsoft.com, support.microsoft.com, docs. So this is the best way to do a search if you know which site you want to go to. And that is how I found this article so quickly. So these are the steps. I will copy this down and put it into our notes so we can put it in chat later or include it. That is small. But if you have Windows 10S, you will be running into a few issues. The people who have volunteered tonight, are any of them actually using Windows 10S? I'm going to stop sharing. So we have Bill. Are you using a Chromebook? You can nod or no. You're muted right now. Bill James?
No, I'm using Windows 10 Pro.
Okay. And John, who else did we have? We had Mary Ann. Mary Ann has the email. I'm sorry. Who was the other person?
I have Windows 10, but I don't know if it's S or ES or whatever.
Okay. So if you have S, you'll find out because it'll say it won't let you download it, and that's okay. I wanted to actually bring up a few questions here that Mary Ann sent me. They're actually really good, so thank you. You actually helped prepare some of this content. She went in and did her homework. She downloaded Bitwarden, and she had a pop-up that says she needs to verify her email. Now, it looks like this is inside Bitwarden. Is that correct? She's nodding yes. Okay. So what that means is when you sign up with Bitwarden, again, I go to bitwarden.com and sign up there, it's going to send you an email. And in that email, you click a link that says, I'm a real person. I'm a real boy. And once you verify it, that error message goes away. So I kind of forgot about that. It's been a while since I signed up for Bitwarden. So thank you for sending that. The second question was about Facebook's and other sites and using different email addresses. And what she's saying is I use a different email address for my Bitwarden login. And the other sites that I go to, Facebook and whatnot, the email address is completely different. That's completely fine. So I use a unique website, or I'm sorry, I use a unique email anywhere I can. My Bitwarden email is only for Bitwarden and that's it. Now, that's a special trick I have doing it that way, but you're completely fine, so you're okay. Number 3 is you couldn't find the icon when you downloaded it on your Dell PC. So that could be a few things. Marianne, I've just clicked Ask to Unmute because I have some follow-up questions about that. And then your last question we'll talk about. So when you downloaded it, you might be in Windows 10S mode. Did you know that? Do you know if you are or not?
I don't think so. It didn't say anything like that.
Okay. So follow up to that. Would you feel comfortable, keep in mind that we're recording, so I need you to be aware of what's on your screen. Don't show any personal information, email addresses, things like that. Speaking of that, as we go on tonight, for those that don't want to expose their Bitwarden email, you don't want to volunteer for this because it will be in a recording. So Marianne, if you don't have anything that you feel uncomfortable sharing, would you mind sharing your screen?
Well, I did set up the Bitwarden account already with my email. So if I log in, it's going to show my email. And if I type in that long password, it's going to show it too.
Yeah, it'll hide the password, but it will show your email.
See, I thought I would get an icon like you did on the desktop for it, but I did not go to the email. I did not fill in that thing where it said, put your email in and verify or something. So I didn't do that step. I was asking you, should I do it?
Yes, you should.
So
the
then,
icon part is a little different though.
Oh.
So
'Cause
let's
I went
do
and
this.
looked for an icon. I went through to the Windows, little symbol at the bottom of your screen, and I looked under B for bit, and I went into the settings and I looked for bitmap. It didn't show it anywhere. So I had to go to the internet and type in bitmap.com, and then I could sign in on it. So I know it's there. I put two things in there, but I don't have, I thought there would be a shortcut like a icon.
It sounds like maybe, so if you went to bitwarden.com and signed in there, you don't need anything installed on your computer, but I have a feeling you did download it and perhaps it just hasn't installed. So we don't need to launch Bitwarden if you want to be careful. I kind of need to see what is going on with the screen. What I was going to have you do, and thank you for reminding me about the email. What I was going to have you do is on the start button, and we can all do this together. So anybody on Windows, if you click the start button or you click the search button next to it, and you type Bitwarden.
Okay.
Microsoft does a lot of things with that button. They will show you apps, they will show you websites, they will show you all sorts of things. When you did that, Marianne, it didn't give you an app in there. Is that what you? You can try it now and tell me.
Yes, I'm going to try.
Okay.
Okay. I typed in bit in the search screen and it brought up Bitwarden file folder. And when I modified it last, and to the right, it says location. It's under documents, computer classes, and SIG. But that's where I put the things that, is it Judy, Janet, the girl sent us. That's where I put the PDF files. It's in that file folder. That's not the program.
Then let's do this a little different. Mr. James, why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself and share your screen? I'm going to leave you unmuted, Mary, just so you know, because I'm going to have follow-up questions as we go. Bill, would you mind sharing your screen? Thank you. So I'm going to have him do those steps with us.
Okay.
On your start button, you can ignore everything open, that's fine. On your start button, click and then just type bit. Okay, so this is a perfect example.
I can't see it. It's so tiny.
Oh.
Why can't I see his screen?
So let's kind of talk about what we're seeing. It is, if you're on a smaller screen, it is going to be hard. What I'm looking at with this particular search is the icon for Bitwarden shows up, the blue icon with the white shield with a blue slash in it. But if you look under the word Bitwarden, and I know you can't see it on his screen, if you look under the word Bitwarden, it says app.
Huh.
So Marianne, what I'd like you to do is try that search again and see if you see Bitwarden with the word app underneath it. And then while you're doing that, there was a question about match detection field. And you stumped me, but I figured it out, I think. So my answer is I think this is what it means. So what I was able to find was an article, again, doing my search using bitwarden.com as the site. Match detection is talking about the URL, the field where we type our web addresses. So www.facebook.com, www.yahoo.com, anything where there's a .com, .org, .edu, anything that's a website. This specific feature called match detection is referencing that. So Tuesday night, I talked about, I get in the habit of typing HTTPS for secure. So if you look in, and I know, Marianne, it's small for you, but if you look at Bill's screen here, on his web browser, that Bitwarden window, up at the top, it's kind of hard to see, but I can see HTTPS. That means it's a secure site, SSL, certificates, all that good stuff. That's what you want when you're filling in passwords. That's where you can feel a little more secure. If you don't put in the full URL, meaning the HTTPS, if you don't put all of that inside of Bitwarden, it will assume HTTP without the S.
Okay, I might have done that.
So what it's trying to do is make it easy. If you type yahoo.com and that's it, it'll say, oh, you really meant HTTPS, or I'm sorry, http://www.yahoo.com. So it's, even though you cut it off, it's smart enough to know I'm going to put it in, but it doesn't use the secure option. So my rule still stands. I would type in the S if I were you.
Okay, so
Let's see.
what do
Let
I
me do
do? Get
something.
rid of what I downloaded and start all over again? Because I did 2 different
I don't think you
stores.
need to do it again. Bill's going to show us something here.
Okay.
I just, let me get out of that. Okay.
Ken, I wonder if she didn't install, that she got it downloaded, but that she didn't actually install.
That's what I'm thinking, exactly.
And when I just type in Bitwarden in that address bar, it comes up as bitwarden.com with a S on it.
Yep. So let's talk about that for a second. Websites now, I've built websites. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I can do it. And if you have a website that's well designed like Bitwarden, it will automatically change whatever you type to S. That's not always the case. So let's think of an obscure website that may not be updated. Like if we go to the mainstream websites, we're probably going to get redirected. Oh, here we go. Let's go to our club website. Let's see what happens. I'm sorry. That will redirect, I'm pretty sure. Let's do a different one. ECO.
APCUG.
Yeah, go ahead and try it. I think it redirects.
APCUG.
Yeah, go ahead and try. See, that redirects. Try this website, ECO, T as in Tom, U.club. The other one I'm thinking of, I'm sure redirects as well. Uh-oh. Is our website down? That's not good. So what you really want, the expected behavior is the website will say, I think you really mean, okay, we do a good job. So it's really hard to prove, but some websites don't do a very good job and they don't put the S in for you. Everything we're doing tonight is putting the S in. Does that kind of make sense to everyone? The difference between S? What?
That one redirected.
Yes, yes, it did. So the answer to that question is it automatically puts in the HTTP, and I would still tell you to put it in yourself. Of course, you need to make sure it really is an S site because there are a few that are not.
I know this one. I know this one because we don't have that.
Good, good, good. So the theory here, which John is supporting my theory, is, Marianne, we think you've downloaded it, but I think there's a step missing. I don't think it's installed. I think it's sitting there as a file ready to be launched and ready to walk through the procedure.
So would that be in her downloads folder? Probably.
Likely. Now, I may be wrong. I'm seeing a look on your face that I swear I installed this.
Well, why did it let me put information in there and passwords for 2 different, you know, I did Walmart and Walgreens. I mean.
Okay, let's talk about that. So what did you do? You opened your browser, right? And you went to bitwarden.com?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And then you signed in.
Yes.
You are using the web client.
And
meaning.
I didn't know that, huh?
Well, you do now, and you may not know what that means, but we talked about a lot on Tuesday. So
yeah. I remember a web client, but you had to actually go there and say, well, I'm using Chrome, and so therefore that's going to be my web client, and do it that way. But
Let me show you.
I didn't know I was doing that.
Correct. And that's why you thought you had Bitwarden. So this is the web client. And the good rule of thumb is if you're on a computer that you don't know and you need to get a password for whatever reason, you can log into Bitwarden. Right now I'm on a trusted computer. So I can go ahead and log in here and I'll be okay. But let's pretend for a moment that I am not. So I'm going to go to File. Do you remember this from Tuesday?
Yes.
New in private window. This is the safest way to do it. It
Right.
doesn't save your history. It shouldn't prompt you to save your password. It's just saying, I don't care what you do, just do it. So I go here. I'm in a private window. I click log in. It asks for my email address.
Okay.
Asks for my master password. I log in and it looks just like Bitwarden. It is a web client.
Okay. That's what I was seeing.
But good job. You have passwords in there. So you're already a step ahead.
I
Now,
even did a folder.
oh, that's impressive. So here's the question. You still need to install it is what we're thinking.
Right.
So you're welcome to, like I said, you're welcome to share your screen and do that now. Or is there someone else that hasn't installed it? You're not going to get in trouble for not doing your homework. Is there someone who hasn't installed it yet, but would like to share their screen and walk through it?
I got,
I think I got mine installed, but
So Mary Ann, do you want to share your screen?
Okay. If I share my screen, you're going to see the email that I set up with Bitwarden, right?
We're not going to log in. We're just going to download and install.
Okay. Right. I'll share my screen.
But hang on. She's pulling the trigger too quick. Make sure everything's closed that shows personal information. So close your web browser, or well, actually we need the web browser. Close your email programs, anything like that where you're showing anything. Let's close it out first. By the way, did everyone bring their beverage of choice this evening?
no,
And like I told you the night before, this is actually pomegranate juice, so I'm not cheating yet.
It's not as good as it could be then.
Mm-hmm.
I
It is
had
ice cream.
pomegranate juice in Palestine. The fresh is the best.
Oh, yeah. This is concentrate. You have to add water to it. I never get the mixture right. We're ready, Mary Ann,
How
whenever
do I
you
get
are.
rid of the chat that's taken up like half the screen, that chat?
So in your Zoom window, there's a button at the bottom, about middle, that says chat. If you click it, it should go away.
No, the chat
And-
button's gone. I've got share screen. I've got more. Okay, there's button. Chat. Okay, it's gone.
Stephen, you have a question? Why don't you go ahead and unmute Stephen Wertheim? I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
I have several questions, but I believe I downloaded it, but I'm a little confused about some things. So whenever you get done with Mary Ann, I'm up for answers.
Okay. Yay! Volunteers. Okay, Mary Ann,
Okay.
your show now. Let's go.
All right, I've got two things showing. I've got you showing, and I've got my internet open with vaultbitware.com, which is where I left off there.
Okay, so what
Hit
you want to
share
do,
screen.
yes,
This is
share
the-
screen.
Okay, and then,
And then you want to share the entire screen. So don't change anything. Just click the blue share screen button in the right corner.
The right corner.
I think it's right.
Share screen's in my middle.
Oh, are you on an iPad?
No.
not me.
Okay. Well, apparently it moves around randomly, so it could be anywhere.
Now,
But you did it.
Probably once you
it's-
click,
wait a second, Craig. It's the second button that nobody sees except who's sharing that's in the bottom right corner of the sharer's screen.
Okay,
that's what I was gonna say.
all right, so there it is. You see in
Okay.
it?
Yes, now don't type anything because this is where we're going to see information.
Right,
So what I need you to do is go to bitwarden.com, not Vault, but bitwarden.com.
do I have to put the HTTPS?
Nope.
No,
Nope.
that's how I started.
I mean, you can if you want, but
Bitwarden.com, that's how I started.
correct. Enter.
Okay. Enter.
So this is where you want to split your screen up, folks. Go ahead and mute yourselves because I hear myself echoing. Anybody that's not speaking right now, if you wouldn't mind. So you want to split your screen up if you want to follow along or take good notes. First step is go to bitwarden.com. There is a shortcut, but I want to show you the way that you'll probably remember.
I missed the splitting screen thing. I listened, but I didn't really catch it.
John, are you there? Can you explain that to us again?
Yeah, since you're in the sharing the video, you probably have to go up to view options and get out of full screen. And then once you're out of full screen, then you can adjust like you normally adjust windows and make, you know, your zoom half and then your own stuff half. But you have to get out of full screen first. And then you'll be able to resize your windows.
So before Marianne actually clicks what I need her to click, I want to point out something. For those that haven't had a chance to do the account creation, look right on the left side, there's a button inside the Bitwarden website. It says create your free account. Thank you. You're a great assistant. I love it. So that's where you would click. Don't click though. That's where you would click if you haven't signed up. You already have. You're good to go. What I want you to find for me, no pressure, because when you're looking at everybody else is looking, you never find it. I need you to find the download button for me. Do you see it? Oh,
Yeah.
Right away. There we go. Go ahead and click that. Okay, that's not what I expected. Let's scroll down a little bit.
See, this is what I typed in /download because
Yep.
that's what you told me to type in
That is correct.
in my notes. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So scroll down a little bit because we're not seeing exactly what we need. There should be an option that says, there it is. Yay.
Did not
So,
see. Oh.
so what do we click now? Now that answer depends. We're on Windows, so we're going to click Windows. But if you're on a Mac, you would click Mac. I want to do a side note here. I don't know how many Linux users we have, but I want to point out there's multiple ways to install Bitwarden. The way they're offering from the website is an app image. App images are packages that should run standalone, but I have had trouble running app images from certain distributions. So I suggest you install it from the distros, and I don't know what the correct term is. Their app store, John, would that be what you call it? Their software center?
Repository.
There you go. So I would suggest following their suggestions. You can try it. If it works, great. But it's, you know, usually it works better with updates and things like that, doing it the way you're supposed to. So, Marianne, you're passing so far with flying colors. What do we click?
This one, Windows, because I'm
Yes. Go for it. Now, she is using Chrome, it looks like. I can't quite, yes, Chrome. So Chrome will download items and put a little link in the bottom left corner. So that bottom left corner, if you look, she's going to point at it. That's the installer. Now, Marianne, I want you to, in a second, click it, but I want to show you something. Do you see the caret? Remember the, oh, that was a different class. Never mind. I haven't talked to you about this. I've taught 3 classes in a row. So the caret is that arrow thing, that half arrow right next to the .exe. Go ahead and click that for me. This is where you can go and you can do a few things, but what I want you to do, please, and thank you, is go to Show in Folder. This is going to show you where it's been downloaded. And it's probably, I believe, as Craig said, in your downloads folder. Now, I did this for 2 reasons. I wanted to see if our theory was right, and it looks like you haven't downloaded it yet, so we're okay.
Okay.
So now you can close this window. I'm sorry, I'm not on a Mac. The black X in the top right corner.
Yeah.
Click that. And if you're using Chrome, you just simply click the file in the bottom left corner and it will launch it, just as Marianne is doing. So the standard Windows installer should launch, albeit slowly, but it should launch. and then we just follow the prompts. So we will wait and wait. Actually, Marianne, is there a pop-up window that blackened out your screen on the sides?
Something blackened it out. Yes, I guess.
So you should be prompted for a yes or no. You'll want to enter yes.
Okay. I didn't know if you could still screen. I was watching.
We could not see that, no.
Okay. All right.
But I had to remember, I don't use Windows all the time. I use it for work. And I went, wait, why is she not doing anything? Oh, right. There's a prompt.
I'll wait for you to tell me.
No, call me out on it, okay? Okay.
So now
here's the beautiful thing. You don't have to really think. Now, we are going to talk about these because, you know, options. But this, don't change this if you don't need to. Just trust Windows to install it where it needs to. So we're going to click install. So it's not going to give us options. Good job, Bitwarden. I love it. Make it easy, right? So sometimes you'll see things like, do you want to add a shortcut to the desktop? Do you want to add it to quick launch? What do you want to do? I assume, because it's making these decisions for us, that it'll probably do the desktop icon. It'll definitely put it in the, now don't click anything. It'll definitely put it in the start menu, but we're going to see if it puts in the quick launch, and I don't think it did. So there's a button that's checked that says run Bitwarden, okay? I don't want you to do that yet. So go ahead and uncheck it. Now at home, you could go ahead and do this. I'm just showing you everything. So click finish for me, please. Now, where the heck is it? Is the question of the day. So before you, well, probably, but before you minimize, think about your desktop. Is there anything personal, identifiable?
No.
Okay, go ahead and minimize.
My husband's picture's on there.
Okay.
And our car.
Okay. So I see it. Do you see it?
Not yet. Yes. Over here.
You got almost a matching background. That's why it's hard to see.
Yeah.
So go ahead and double click it to launch it. That's one way. Now, there's another way to find Bitwarden, which Bill already showed, so I'm not going to go over that again. Click the start button, you can start searching, or if you just like looking, you can go and actually scroll through a list of applications to find it. So it's not going to show your information yet, and I don't want you to type it. All I wanted you to do was get it installed. So did that make sense?
Thank you so much.
Yep.
So that means, without knowing it, I actually did the internet version. Is that what you call it? The
Yep.
Google.
Works for me, internet version.
Okay.
But that's actually important to know because you might be in a place where you need a password and you don't have your computer. So how do you get it? You log in from a web browser using the private. Yes,
private.
Thank you. The private.
Yeah.
Yes. So question for the group, and there's a lot that don't have video, totally fine. Is there a Mac user in the group that would like to see how you download Bitwarden? Do you have Bitwarden downloaded, Craig? You do? Okay, do me a favor. Trash it and then share your screen and we're going to re-download it, okay? While we're waiting on Craig, let's see, we've got Windows. Linux is a little too complicated. I don't want to get into that. There's many ways to do it. I can show you the iPad, so let's do that. I'm going to share my screen.
All right,
I've already deleted it.
Did you unshare me or something?
I sure did.
Okay.
You just didn't see it.
I did.
So I am going to share my iPad screen. So I'm going to point out some icons here. I'm sorry, this is going to be a mess. I got a lot of stuff going on. This is work related too. So this icon right here that I'm going to press, long press and hold, I want it to be highlighted. This is called the App Store. You do not need to long press and hold this app. You just need to tap it to open it. But I am highlighting where it is. It could be actually anywhere on your screen, but in general, this is the area it's in. So I'm going to tap out of that and you'll see that it says App Store. So you tap App Store and bottom right corner, you should see a search button. So we tap search. Anyone want to guess what I'm going to search for?
How many chances do we get?
You get 3 wishes, my friend. So you search for Bitwarden and then you hit enter. Now, mine will look a little different because I've already downloaded it on my account. So that little cloud icon that you see, let me get into the app. The second one on the top right is the app itself. Do you see the blue? I can't even see you guys nodding, so I assume you can see it. If you see this blue cloud thing here, I'm trying to point at it, but you know, it doesn't really work that way. That should say install or download or something of the sort. Now, I've already downloaded it. I've deleted it. So I'm going to go ahead and click that button. And depending on your internet speed, it could take seconds or minutes. Once it downloads, you can wait in this screen if you want to. If you wait long enough, once it downloads, you click the open button, and then you're presented with the login screen. So in the app, you can create an account, but here's the problem with creating an account on a mobile device. We created, and I'm hoping that people are saying, oh, yeah, of course. We created a super secure random password that was about 12 characters long that no one in the world could crack, at least for a while. So if we do that through a tablet, it could be a little difficult. I suggest doing all this from the web browser, but for giggles, I'm going to click create account, and then you would type your random email address, which is absolutely a correct email address. I don't know where my thing went. I'm using a keyboard today. Here we go. Then you type your random password, which would obviously show up, which is why I'm typing random text. And if you can remember one this long, more props to you. I can't, but you know, 12 characters is what we're shooting for here. Then it's going to ask you to retype, and it will tell you if they're not the same. Obviously, they will not be the same. And then it's going to ask for a hint. You do not need to give a hint. But that's weird. What I see on my screen over here is different than what I see on my iPad. So on my iPad, I have random characters. You guys don't see that, but you do see my cursor. So here I would type a hint. I don't need no freaking hint. If I could spell everything right? So whatever you want to put here, it's possible, but remember, we're probably grabbing the password from LastPass. So I would just do it from the web browser. Once you've created your account, you tap the login key. And this is where you enter your Bitwarden email and your passcode and your in. And that's all she wrote. That process is very similar on a smartphone and on a tablet. The difference is what type of smartphone or tablet you have. You don't go to the App Store on Google phones, or you probably have a Samsung phone or LG. You would go to the Google Play Store. No, Play is not for fun. It could be, but Google Play Store means the application store. So that's probably enough time for Craig to be ready. Are you good to go? I don't know if it'll let you.
Yes, I am.
See if it'll let you share. I'm not sure if it will.
Disabled.
Okay. I don't have.
I am on the Bitwarden website, so.
Yeah, only I can do that.
I thought so.
Yeah, I've sort of figured that would be the case.
Now you can do it. So,
okay.
Oh, wait, hold on, Craig. I need you to change your resolution. It's way too small.
Well,
Can you do that for me?
Picky.
Hey, I'm not the one that complained earlier.
Yes, I know. Hold on.
I'm complaining now. Or you could blow up. You could just blow up Chrome or Safari. That would be sufficient.
Yeah, this is Safari. So if I do this.
Yep, and just make it full screen if you can.
I can do that.
Okay.
Everybody see that okay?
Yep, that's much better. So it should be no surprise to anyone in this room, but it's worth repeating. How do we download bitwarden.com on a computer? We go to bitwarden.com/download, or we go to bitwarden.com and look for the download button. So Craig.
And I am HTTPS because you see the little lock there.
Yep.
Next to the URL at the top of the screen. So I click download.
And then we have to scroll down the page. Now this time we're going to pick Mac OS. Mac OS is a little different. This is why I wanted to show it. So a package file, this is actually something similar to what Linux does. Typically these apps download in a package. So once it downloads, I'm going to have Craig open up the folder where it is, which is probably his downloads folder.
Yeah, downloads folder's right here. And I will click open folder so you can see the whole thing.
So that's going to be small. Yeah, it's better. So this is a little different. Sometimes on a Mac, you would just drag and drop the file. This is actually installer package. So this is fine. Go ahead and, pardon me, go ahead and double click.
We get this little, and now I have this Bitwarden.
Ah, that's what I expected. I knew I wasn't crazy. So what I expected to see was an icon that it says, hey, drop it here. This is very common on a Mac. So all he has to do is drag and drop.
This is the easiest thing. You grab this icon here and you drag it over to here and let go and click authenticate. And I have to enter my password.
Which is not monkey123 as we learned on Tuesday.
That's correct. And it's just a bunch of dots.
Tuesday. I keep saying Thursday because it's Thursday, sorry. And that's it. Voila.
And now what I can do to make it go away is kill that window. I grab this icon off the desktop right here and drag it down and put it in the trash. And then I close this window and I'm done.
Easy.
It is super simple. Do you want me to launch it now?
Nope, that's okay. I'm going to mute you again. So installing on a Mac is straightforward. Installing on a PC is familiar. It's the same process we go through. Installing on a tablet is probably familiar to you. Is there anyone still lost on the installation process that would like to share their screen and do it themselves? Because we can do it one more time and then we'll move on. Or if you're good to go, we'll move on to the next step.
We're going to do another question, though, which involves this. And it was kind of Tuesday night, but review night. Why do I need the app? Why not just the browser?
You don't need the app. You can use the browser. The app, in my opinion, is more full-featured. I'll give you an example. Let's say I have an application on my computer. Oh, you know what? Why not show you? I'm going to share my screen and try to think of something where I'd want to enter my password. Aha, I've got it. So on my computer, I'm going to go ahead and launch the App Store. And then I go to Discover and I find the absolute best calculator something thing I've ever wanted. I don't know what this thing is. So here I am, I'm downloading something on my computer and I click Get and I click Install and it should prompt me for a password. Uh-oh, where do I go? It's fine. I can use my web browser, bitwarden.com, sign in, put in my master password. So that was 1, 2, 3. That's 4 steps so far. Then I type my password that I'm looking for. That's 5 steps. 6 steps. Flip back to the app. 7 steps, okay? So there's 7 steps doing it through the web browser. That's not terrible. Let's try it through the app, shall we? So first things first, I would launch Bitwarden, step 1. Enter my master password. 2. Find. 3. Copy. 4. Paste. 5. So it's quicker, theoretically quicker, because I have less steps. It's a preference. It's not a requirement. and installing the app is simply how I prefer to use it. Did that answer your question?
Yeah. So George, I was a LastPass person too until I got mad with them and switched to Bitwarden. And I have mostly been, because of being a LastPass person, a extension user. But I have learned that there are so many more features that are in the app that I'll probably start using the app at home and use the extension when I'm, you know, if I'm somewhere else, because the extension is the same as going to the website. But when you see what Bitwarden app has that LastPass doesn't have, then the app makes a big difference. But
And
no,
I misread that. You said extension and I went to the website. So the extension actually would have less steps than the website. So either one would work. Now,
If
there
you
was,
if you open up the app and leave it open, you don't have to do that login and enter your password every time. You're already logged in. You just got to go look for the password you want and do it. So using the app is even faster if you leave it running.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, as long as you have your browser running, you can have the extension remember your password, and then you don't have to do that there either.
Correct.
No, there was another point I was going to make about that I promptly forgot. So it's been a long day. Hopefully I'll think of it later, but hopefully that gives you some ideas. It's okay to do what you want. Actually, LastPass, it makes sense if you're coming from LastPass. It is very much driven in the extension. The app itself, we use it at work. It is lacking. I can do more in the extension, which is the opposite of what I expect. Okay, so I've got a question here. Oh, that actually, we already answered that. So were there any other questions they were waiting to answer? Okay, so I see Steven's hand up. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I believe I installed it, and then I got an email that says, click here to confirm. Well, I clicked there, and a little circle went round and round and round and around and round and round, and it never stopped. So I believe I'm signed in to. Should I share my screen now and
Go
see
ahead.
what okay.
So that's a feature. That's called the merry-go-round. That's a Windows feature, you know, that built by design.
I host disabled participant screen sharing.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. I forgot that John has to do stuff. I'm going to make John work tonight. I'm so sorry.
I'm going to make people pay me.
Well, all right. So
Go ahead, Stephen. You're good now.
Okay. Now, what I want to do is I want to show. Let's see. Now, I want to get down to my files down in the left-hand corner.
So you're not sharing yet, but before you share, or make sure nothing personal is open and that you don't want to expose in the recording.
All right. Let's see. How do I get rid of these then?
Get rid of what exactly?
I have my inbox from my emails. How do I stop that?
So are you going to show the spinning thing, the activate?
No,
or are you
no.
Okay.
I just want to show Bitwarden. That's all.
Okay. You could probably just minimize it if it's in a web browser or if it's in an app. That should be sufficient.
I'm not. Forgive me my ignorance, but I'm not sure how to do this.
Okay. To be safe, do you know how to close applications?
Yes, but I don't have the. I don't have the buttons down here at the bottom.
The buttons at the bottom. What do you mean?
See, I'm in Zoom, and I'm sharing my desktop.
Not yet. You're not.
Oh, I'm not.
No.
No. That's what I want to do. I want to get to my desktop.
Okay. So, are you on Windows?
Yes.
Top right corner, there's 3 buttons. There's an X in the far right. There's a square or 2 squares in the middle and a minus sign. Click the minus sign on Zoom.
What I have here is I have basic, advanced, and files in the middle of in the top middle of my window here.
Craig, have him close out of the sharing until he gets the desktop ready for us to see it.
Okay, I'll close out of here. Now, how do I get down? How do I get down to my desktop?
Oh, I see. You were in the sharing window. Thank you, John. I was trying to visualize. So now you should be able to minimize Zoom with the minus sign, top right corner.
Okay, so which I've got mute my audio, stop video, rename, pin,
You're
spotlight.
still in Zoom. You want to minimize the Zoom window to see your desktop background.
But which one do I want to click here?
Oops, hold
It
on.
says mute
Are
my
you
video,
full
stop.
screen?
I'm just telling you what's showing up when I have the three
At the
dots.
very top where it says Zoom meeting in that menu bar on the right end of that, you should have 3 buttons. A red X,
No, I don't. I
have an idea.
have
his
hide
screen,
thumbnail
full
video,
screen.
show small screen active.
Hold on a second. I'm going to share my screen. Sometimes this helps. And that pops up Zoom to the forefront.
When you go so fast, I can't see
Oh,
what's
hold
happening.
on. You don't need to do anything yet. So I'm sharing my screen to pull Zoom back to where it should be. Now that I've unshared, do you see the buttons in the top right corner?
Can I just tell you what I see?
Mm-hmm.
I see it says hide thumbnail videos, show small screen, show small active speaker video, and then there are two blue bars, and then show grid video. That's what's at the top of my little thumbnail.
He wants to get out of full screen.
Hit your escape button.
Okay.
Did that change it?
Yes. Okay.
Now
right,
you
now
have the minimize.
Okay. Now let me go ahead and get out of these.
When you explain it, I have to see it in my head. So my gears are turning and I'm going,
Yeah, that's what I thought. He was in full screen mode and he needed to get out of that.
Yep.
Okay.
You're ready now?
Okay. Now I'm in Zoom here, but I've lost the
So hang on. Little trick I learned. I'm going to share my screen and stop sharing it. It should make Zoom go back to normal. You see Zoom now with all the people in it, or is it something else?
I just see the it says post attendee. Oh, maybe I accidentally got myself out of Zoom.
That could be.
Wait a minute. Here okay.
No, it's a second window for your browser. That's what you would see, but you're still in it because we can still hear you.
Okay. Look, I'm embarrassed that I.
Don't be embarrassed.
How do I get back in now?
So in the bottom toolbar, you're going to see a Zoom icon.
I see two. I see Zoom and I see Zoom meeting.
Oh, okay. That's new on me.
Wait a minute. Here we go. Share screen. Okay, I think I see it now. Can I share my screen here now?
Yes, please.
All right. Now
We're all learning this, so never feel embarrassed. Okay, I'm embarrassed that I didn't know you were in full screen, so whoops.
Okay, well, now say here's where my Bitwarden is. Should I just click on this? It's because I have it in my...
So you haven't quite shared your screen yet. You started the process and you probably have a window that popped up. There's 2 buttons you click.
Okay, I hit share screen. Now what do I do?
Now there should be a blue share button towards the bottom right. Click that and there you go. Yay! We're there. Okay. Right. Now I just forgot what we're doing. What are we doing, Steve?
I'm just...
He had the same problem with trying to authenticate his setting up the account.
Okay.
You see, when I set up the account, I got an email that said click here to verify or to confirm or whatever it said. I clicked on that and it just kept going and going and going.
Yep.
So then I went back and then I went back to the site with Windows, and then I've clicked on download Bitwarden. So I have Bitwarden here.
Yep, I see that.
Okay. All right.
So
Now
we're going to find out right now if you've already authorized it. So
no, I have a long password. So just
good
give
for
me a minute.
you. Take note, folks. Stephen is doing it right.
He has a sticker under his keyboard with the password on it.
For now.
Not a good idea.
Well,
Look,
you know.
Okay. Now,
Okay.
now, okay. So I got to this point and I didn't know what to do.
Correct. So I have good news for you. You want some good news?
Yeah, let's have some good news.
You haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I haven't. Okay.
That's what's coming up next.
He's
So
in the same spot I am now.
So you have authenticated, you have verified your account. You are now ready to start entering passwords. So, Stephen,
Yes.
do you feel comfortable? Now, understand what I'm asking you here. We're on a recording, and if you create a new login, it's going to expose something like an email address, not necessarily your password, because I'll keep you from doing that as best as I can. If you have an email address that you don't want to share, we're going to stop sharing
No,
your
that's
screen.
okay. I can share an email address.
Okay. So let's do this step first. The reality here is everyone on this call, if you don't, I don't know how you got into this meeting. Everyone on this call should have an email address, right?
Yeah.
And that means you have a login. So there's the email address part and there's the password. Now, I'm not saying that's what Stephen's going to use. Any account where you've already set up a password, we're going to go ahead and just input that information in now. We know the username, we know the password. So Stephen wasn't prepared for this, but let's see how we do. Best fun is when you don't know what's going to happen, right?
Listen, I'm here to learn.
That's right. So I need you to, inside of Bitwarden, we're going to create a new login. There's two ways to do it now, right? Well, there's multiple ways. There's two ways that are on screen right now, but one of them is going to go away as soon as you click it. So I want to point that one out first. Right in the middle, below the smiley face or the frowny face. Hey, there's no items. That's what I was trying to tell you. There's an add item button right there. Do you see that word?
Yeah, well, I tried that and then I didn't know what to do with that either.
That's okay. We're going to walk through it. Go ahead and click that add item.
Okay.
So think of an account you know the password to, and you know the username, which if it's an email address, the username is an email address. While you're thinking about that.
Wait a minute. See, I got to this point and then I didn't know what to do. So what am I doing?
We're getting
now?
there. We're getting there. So think of an account that you log into, like Amazon or Facebook.
Yeah, I would have to look up my password for Amazon, but I can do that.
Pick one that anyone that you want. It doesn't matter.
Okay. Should I type in Amazon then under name?
If that's what you want, let's do Amazon. So the name field, this is important. The name field is something descriptive to you. You can put anything you want in here.
Okay.
I would suggest you put the name of the service at a minimum. So Amazon would be a great name for an Amazon login, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to add to this to make it findable, easily searchable?
No, Amazon ought to do just.
I agree. So you can either click in the next field that says username, or if you want to use your keyboard, just tap your tab key, T-A-B. The tab key moves you to the next field. There you go. Good job.
Okay.
So the username for Amazon is an email address. So remember, we're on a recording. You're going to expose your email. Are you okay with that?
I'm going to use a different email address, but I can do
that's great. Good idea. Oh, good tip for today. So we're going to use a fake or a different email, right?
No, it's not fake, but it's a different one.
You should have went with the flow. That's okay. So this is our fake email address we're using, right, Stephen? Say yes. And then,
it's not fake. It's a real email
geez,
address.
Stephen,
I don't
come
mind.
on. Help me out here. That's okay.
You want me to make up an email address?
No.
All right.
It's too late.
It's a fake one.
It's too late. You ruined the alarm. I'm kidding. Okay, you didn't do anything wrong. You're doing it perfectly fine. So now in the password field, this is super important. Hit your tab key again to move to the next field.
Yeah.
I do not want you, do not, I'll say it again, do not click the eyeball because that will expose your password. You can type the real password here for this fake account that's real. You can type the real password, but do not click that eyeball, okay?
All right. Well, let me just get my
I think I need a drink of my wine for that one. No, the fake wine.
Okay, so I should put in my password for Amazon, right?
Correct.
Okay.
His password's the same as mine, a bunch of dots.
Oh, Marianne, you had a question. You want to unmute and ask that now while we're doing this? Or did you forget it?
No,
I
I
can't do
think,
more than one thing at a
I
time.
think the moderator.
Okay, now
answered it,
what?
But I'm
Okay.
watching.
Just enter?
Hang on, Stephen. Hold on a second. What, Marianne?
I think the moderator answered it. I didn't know if in one of these fields, when you do a new item, if you're supposed to put the HTTPS://
We're going
or
to talk about that. Good
part of the
question.
URL.
Good question. Okay, Stephen, back to you.
Should I hit enter?
Nope. Don't do that. Slow down. You're moving too fast. You got to make everybody ready. Okay, never mind. So the next field is authenticator key. What we would do is we would tap the tab key on our keyboard. It's going to move to that field. Here's some good news for
Wait
you.
a minute, I hit the tab key and it just went to the other.
Oh, okay. So hit the tab key one more time. There
Okay,
you go.
got it.
So here's the thing. Write this down, everyone. You don't need to worry about this for now. Don't worry about this. You're going to get confused and say, I don't remember what Kenneth said to do here. Kenneth said, don't worry about this. Write that down, okay? Or remember it.
Okay.
So the important things in creating or saving our first password item is what is it called so we can find it? What's the login ID or the username? What's the password? And then the fourth, and the only really, well, sometimes you don't even need that, but the fourth thing that you need is the actual web address. So,
But now, can I, when I'm up here with this login here,
don't
when
click
would I
that. Hold on.
Okay.
Don't go there.
Oh, I'm just asking the. Okay.
I know. I'm giving you a hard time. You're making it too hard on yourself.
I'm just.
For
I'm
now,
just trying
just
to
leave
learn.
it at login.
It's a good question. We'll talk about it in a second, I promise.
Yes, it is a good question.
So, Stephen,
Yes.
I don't know where your cursor is now because you're click happy, but that's okay.
Where do you want my cursor to be?
I want your cursor to be, if I'm picking on you too much, you let me know. You see the URL one, right below URL one is ex.https. So
Yes.
right there. Yes, perfect. So that is giving you an example of what a fully formed URL or a web address should look like. As we learned earlier, thanks to Marianne's question, I believe, you don't have to type https://. But as a best practice, if you want to make sure it's going to HTTPS, because that website that Bill showed us did not, you can type it in. So
Should I type
for
that in now?
ease of use, for just today,
You have to click first, Stephen.
yeah, you're already in there. So for ease of use, I want you to just type Amazon.com. No www, just Amazon.com. And then we're going to pause. Okay. This is a fully formed password for a web address. How are we feeling about that so far? We got
Well,
one more
it's not got
step.
the S.
What's that?
It's not got the S.
Oh, you're okay for now. You're okay.
Amazon will redirect you.
It will. So there's lots to this field. There's a scroll bar, there's notes, there's folders, there's all sorts of crap we talked about.
Which field are we talking about?
Well, Here's the good
one
news.
with Amazon.com?
Hold on. Here's the good news. Don't worry about it for now. It's not important. They are additional features to make your life easier. I don't want you to get caught up on the extra stuff. So
Okay.
right now, if you need to, take a screenshot. Well, nobody on the other end because that's his email. Take a visual screenshot in your mind of what you need. We need the name, the username, the password, the URL, and that's pretty much it. So Stephen, there is a, there's a little joke, I'm going to say it. There's a 3D printed save icon there. Do you see it? The floppy disk icon. A millennial told me, oh, wow, how cool. They 3D printed the save icon. It was a floppy disk. Sorry, bad joke.
I
Thought it was pretty funny.
I'm not seeing what we're talking about here.
So go to the left a little bit. You see cancel. There you go. That's your save button.
So I click on save here.
You got it. You just saved your first entry in Bitwarden.
Oh, okay.
Now I want to show you something. Look in the middle column under Search Vault where it says Amazon.
Yep.
You see how it has the Amazon icon?
Yep.
If the website is smart enough to offer that, it will give you those shortcuts inside of Bitwarden. So some of our computer clubs don't have those icons showing on the website. It may not look like that, but Amazon and Apple and Microsoft and all these other websites that are high traffic will have an icon that shows up. So you had a good question, Stephen, and I wasn't dismissing it, but I wanted to hold tight before we talked about it. Are you ready to do one more entry?
In other words, am I done with Amazon?
Yeah, we're done.
Oh, okay.
We're
But
done.
then, but let's suppose I'm done with it and I want to retrieve it. How do I do that?
We'll get there.
Okay.
May I have a question?
Yes, go ahead.
No, is that all there is to it? I mean, I thought we were gonna get for every item we put in, it will create a very complicated password instead of the one we put in ourselves.
Ah, that's a great comment.
Was
And
the whole idea?
it is. So here's the deal. You have an existing account. You already created a password for it.
Right.
So if we were to randomly generate one, it's not going to work yet.
Because it wouldn't know where to go.
Right. It doesn't know it yet.
So we first have to tell it, this is Amazon, go in there and now make me new passwords.
You got it. Brilliant.
That's what we're gonna do, right? That's what this
We will. Yeah, we will do that. Yep.
Bitwarden,
you see,
okay, that's the whole idea of Bitwarden. Okay, got it. Thank you.
The password showing up in the copy is not the same password that I put in, so I'm not quite sure what that's doing there. But anyway.
In the copy. Oh, don't click that button.
I'm not. I'm just saying the item information, it's got Amazon, my username and password. It's not the same password that I put in before I copied it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Well, that's weird. Yes, Bobby.
I'm sorry, I keep trying to interrupt, but I think he's trying to save the password to another email, so it's not going to save. You understand? He made up, he used another email that's not connected to his Amazon account.
Okay.
And so it's not going to go through and save if he tries to use it again.
All right. Okay.
So, okay, then let's maybe play with the edit button. So Google, I'm not talking to you. I said, okay, and it turned on. So the email address you use for Amazon is not that one?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thank you, Bobby. This is why we pay you the big bucks. So let's click the pencil icon and let's change it to the correct email address. If you don't, okay, hang on. If you don't mind sharing that, if you do, then we're not going to do it.
I would prefer not.
Okay, then don't do that. So when you stop sharing, your homework, when you stop sharing, is to change that email address to the correct one.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
So you asked a really good question about the drop down, and you're curious, right? It's actually a very good question. So what I'd like you to do, and this can be fake, it doesn't matter. Do you see the big old plus button at the bottom of the Bitwarden window?
Yes.
Go ahead and click that. This is the new item button now. The one that we clicked earlier is gone.
Oh,
Now let's
okay.
explore the types just for a second. So go ahead and click that drop down for me, please. A login is a login, like an email address or a username and password to a computer, or anything where you actually have to type 2 bits of information to get logged into something. That's a login. A card is a credit card or a Social Security, actually Social Security they use under identity, but a credit card, some sort of membership card, anything that has information like name, number, expiration date.
So like that'd be my Costco card, for example.
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
Don't enter that in yet. The next one is identity. So that would be where you could store a Social Security number or a passport ID, anything that's identification,
Your
driver's
Medicare
license.
number,
What's that?
the Medicare number. I
Yeah.
know you're too young for that, but.
Yep. Right now I am. I'm
And
creeping
another
up.
good one to put there is the VIN for your car.
I actually do that in a different place, but that's not a bad idea. Actually, I never thought about putting that in there, but I'll show you what I do. So let's see, we got card and then identity. Okay, so the last one is a secure note. So
Now, again, what was identity for?
like driver's license,
Oh, that,
passports.
okay. All right. Okay. Okay. I got you.
Yep.
Okay.
So secure note is a note that's secure because it's in your password vault. So take out the word secure,
Yeah.
and I think you could probably tell me what it is. It's just a note.
Right. Right.
So this is where you can write notes to yourself that have to be accessed through your password vault. Now, this is where I actually put my VIN numbers because I never thought about putting it under ID. Maybe I did and it wasn't quite right. Let's go ahead and create a secure note, Stephen, just to see what it looks like.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. So while we're waiting, I'm going to make the participant window a little bigger. Anyone have a question? Let's see, I've got some stuff in chat. I'll check real quick. Oh, wow, there's a lot. Okay. Are you back, Stephen? Did I lose you? You're muted.
I got it. Okay.
There you go. So there was a question in chat that we're a little ways in. We haven't talked about generating a password. We did on Tuesday, so watch that video. Today is not a presentation. It's more of a help you through it, like hands-on. And we should be able to get to that. We're going to get to a point where we're going to create probably a fake account and then generate the password. So if we happen to forget to do it, I don't know how we will. Watch Tuesday's video because it is in there. So let's go ahead and do the note. So under type, we're going to do secure note.
Here.
Yep.
Okay.
And this is what it looks like. So the name is the same as a password. You have to give it a name that you recognize. Maybe you were making notes about Amazon, an order or details, whatever it is.
Okay. All right. Should I go ahead and do it?
Yeah, if you have something in mind, go right ahead. And then the notes section of the note is where you put, what do you think? Your notes.
My screen's still showing he's at login.
Oh, really?
Type his login.
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that's
What's your question, Kenneth?
where would you put your actual notes?
Down here, right?
Yep. So Marianne, I think it probably flipped out of Zoom. Hang tight for just a second. I'll unshare a screen and then we'll reshare here in just a second.
Nope, he's fine where he is. I see it.
No, I know. It's
Yeah,
Marianne, I think.
It came
Oh,
back.
okay, good. Good. So Stephen, go ahead and just type a random note. This is a test or something like that. So Bitwarden will store all these different elements for you in a more secure way. If you have information from a family member, my parents, I have their information. I store it in notes or ID and I use my password vault for that. So that's what I would recommend doing instead of writing it on a piece of paper, anything that's less secure. So this is how you do a note, and then you would just click the save button once you're done, and it shows up under a different section, which is what I want to show you here.
Where's the save button?
It's the 3D printed floppy disk icon, save button.
Oh, that one, okay.
Yes, there you go. Now that joke is worn out. Okay, so look at the left.
Many applications have that icon for save.
Yes, they do. So for the sake of time, let me try to get through some parts. If you have any questions, go ahead and raise your hand. On the far left side, we see a list of items, and I need to tell you kind of where to find things. So we talked about this on Tuesday. All items is what it says. It's everything. It's going to be notes, login, cards, identity, all that stuff. However, let's think of this as a file folder of sorts. We open up the cabinet and we will store all our logins in one file folder. So down the left side there, do you see all items, favorites, and trash at the top there?
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So go ahead and click. Well, actually, we want to click login. So go all the way down to under types login.
So I click login.
Yep. What you'll see is you went from 2 items to 1 because that note is not a login. So let's look at it again. Go back to all items this time. Go ahead and click all items. We go from 1 to 2. This is a filter of sorts. This is telling you I'm opening a different file, a certain file type. I'm opening notes, or I'm opening a login. It's just a different way to find things. The other thing I use all the time is the search box. Now, it's not going to be very meaningful for you right now because you only have Amazon in there and there's only 2 items. So if we search for Amazon, it's not going to find anything. But if we search for the word water, there's water in your notes there, we should find just that note. So let's try it. Right above in the middle section there, right above where it says Amazon, and it has the Amazon icon, you'll see the search box. Go ahead and click in there and type water. So this is only going to show you items for this thing. I do this all the time, like my Wi-Fi password. I'll type the Wi-Fi name. That way I don't have to search. I have hundreds of items in there. It's too much. So I use the search function almost all the time.
Okay, so that filters, I only have 2 items, but it shows up the filtered, okay.
Because of water, yeah.
Yeah,
So that's obviously a fake note, so let's delete it. Go ahead and click the note just below it.
This right here?
Yep, you got it.
It says new item.
That's okay, go ahead and click it.
Nothing happens.
Oh, it's already on there, okay. Bottom right corner, do you see a red trash can icon?
Yes.
Click that for me, please. And then it says, are you sure? Yes or no? Do you want to delete this?
Should I delete it?
Yep. Unless you want to keep that random note in there.
Nope, nope.
Okay. So you created your first, pardon me, you created your first item inside of Bitwarden. I just unshared your screen and we showed how to create a note. Now, our next guest that's volunteering, thank you, Bill, is what we're going to do here is actually generate a new password. So Mr. James, are you ready to share your screen? And while we're doing that, any other questions?
John S. had one.
Okay.
You have to unmute, John. Oh, you're unmuted. Go ahead, John.
Okay. I see an export function. Is there any way to import?
Yes. Yes, good question. Bill, would you mind entertaining me for just a moment here? In your browser window, let's open a new tab. And well, you could have used that one too. I wasn't thinking. So what I want you to do is search on Bitwarden's site. Do you remember that shortcut? Site : and then bitwarden.com. Yeah,
Did
you
we
got
get
it.
the URL from the Tuesday meeting?
I did. John, was that sent out to everybody?
For tonight was sent out to everybody. It's the same one.
I think he means the recording. Is that what you mean, Stephen?
I thought Judy Tallor was working on.
Yeah, we sent out everything last night.
Well, I haven't seen it yet. Okay, I'll have to take a look.
Well, did we have your email address and your
Yes,
name?
yes, you do.
Yeah, we sent it out last night. We had the link to the video and the handouts.
Well, I'll have to take another look because I didn't see it.
Okay.
I got it.
Okay. So in the search box here, if you type site:bitwarden.com, at the end of that, we're going to type, so we need to import it. So we need to probably know where we're importing it from. So for the sake of an example, let's type the word import from CSV. That's actually a very common file format. CSV is just a spreadsheet type of file. It's common separated, comma, I forget now. I know what it is and I can't think of it, but
Values.
CSV is very common. So when you do a search this way, you're going to find the first couple articles should be relevant for you. So
Comma separated values.
thank you. Yes, comma separated value. So what you want to do in the search term is change what you're importing from. If you're importing from LastPass, just type import from LastPass. If you're importing from 1Password, substitute it for that. I believe one of those guys actually requires an export to CSV. So that first link there, Bill, would you mind clicking it? Well, that doesn't look right. Did you already do the search? Go ahead and hit enter, or that would work. Okay, that looks better. So the first link there should be the article. Follow these articles. Bitwarden really does a great job of outlining the things that you can do. And this particular article gives you a long list of import options, as you can see, even JSON files. So if you have your passwords in Chrome, or if you have them in Firefox or something else like that, there should be an option for it. Anybody else still using RoboForm? That's been around for a while. You can actually import from RoboForm. So good question. Okay, so Bill, we're going to create a new item in Bitwarden, and it doesn't have to be real, but what we want to demo here is actually generating a password. So this is not something, here's the thing to keep in mind, okay? This is important. You're only going to do this way if it's a brand new account. If you already have a Facebook account or you already have an Amazon account and you do this, it's not going to work because it's not your real password. So we are creating a brand new login for a website. So you ready, Bill? You know what to do. There's a plus sign there. So we're going to click the plus sign and we are going to let's use Amazon's a little more complicated. We don't actually really need to do it. So let's do a Outlook.com. So in the name, type maybe Outlook.com or Microsoft Outlook or something like that. In the username, we've looked and it says, yeah, we can use Bill James at Outlook.com. So that's what we're going to type in. Now the username probably wouldn't have a space because it's a login thing. So this would be the actual email address for it. How would you know what the email address would be? We would go to Outlook.com, click sign up, which we'll do here in just a second, and then we would see if this is available. So a properly formatted login would be at Outlook.com. So let's jump back to our web browser for a second. This is what we want to use, but let's see if it's actually available. So we're going to leave Bitwarden open, go to Outlook.com. Are you signed in to Outlook? Because it will log your emails or load your emails here, Bill. He is. Okay. It's going to show your email. I just stopped it real quick. I tried to. If you want to log out, go ahead. If you don't care, go ahead and reshare your screen. I'm going to unmute you because I can't hear anything you're saying. Go ahead and click. There you go.
Yeah, I don't care. There's nothing
Okay,
there that I'm
good.
ashamed of.
Good. So I will need you to log out because we're going to create a, well, we're not really going to go through the whole process. I don't want you to create a new email account, but we're going to fake it here. So Outlook.com, and we're going to look for something that says, yeah, go ahead and sign out. We're going to look for something that says create or new or something of the sort. That's weird. Didn't sign you out, did it?
Yeah, it's getting there.
There we go.
My internet's slow.
Well, with everybody home with the COVID stuff, I'm not surprised. Okay, so it has a sign in button. Go ahead and click sign in. I hope your password's not saved. Otherwise, it's going to sign in again. But top right corner. Oh, there you go. Good job. That was actually better. But it should do it from the sign in as well. So do you see where it says create one, no account, create one? Right below where the cursor is. We're going to go ahead and create that. Yep. And then let's try, Bill James is probably already taken, but let's try it. Bill James at outlook.com. I don't know if you need to put outlook.com on this one, but
Oh, no,
it filled it in. Very good. So let's click next. So it's telling us someone else has it, right? Not surprising. So just put in like 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see what happens at the end of Bill James. That's probably taken too. Next. Okay. Go ahead and add in another 1, 2, 3, 4. That ad's not going to work.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
That's okay. There you go. It does want the @ for the email address. Go ahead and I don't know why it filled it in earlier and now it deleted it. Perhaps we click something. So outlook.com at the end of that. Put outlook.com at the end of that. Thank you. Okay, that looks better. Microsoft, be smarter about your sign-in. Yay! So before we do anything, Bill, we need to write down that email address. We're really not going to create the account, but just for the sake of today's example. So Bill James 1234 1234. Let's go ahead and swap back to our password manager because we need to do two things now. And you remember, there's a different workflow for this. You can do it from the browser extension. I'm used to doing it from the application, and it might be a little easier doing it from the browser extension. So in here, we're going to change that Bill James at wherever it went. I saw it for a second. In Bitwarden, we want to change that Bill James at Outlook to Bill James 1234 1234 at outlook.com. So we're still in that field. Now on Tuesday, when we talked about creating passwords, I gave you some tips. I'm going to talk about those again today, but we need to actually get to the generator window. So right below in the next field where it says password, there are 3 icons to the right. The one that we want is the arrow circling in on itself. So the far right button, go ahead and click that. This is where you generate a new password in the password app. Now Bill's got some decisions to make here. It has auto-picked the length and the format, but I want to see what it's doing for me. So I always click that options. Do you see options right above the check mark? I click that to expand my options. So as we talked about on Tuesday, 12 characters minimum length. 14 is fine for today's example, but what I don't like is that it did not pick a symbol. Do you see how capital A through Z is checked, lowercase a through Z is checked, 0 through 9 is checked? Good. However, the other one's not checked, so let's check that. We want to introduce as many complications to the password as possible. And we're not going to remember this password. We don't need to. We're letting our password manager do it.
One thing to point out, that some sites don't let you put special characters in the password.
Mm-hmm.
So I always try it with it, but if it doesn't work, then you have to uncheck it and pick another one.
Yep, correct. Now you'll get a prompt for it. So you can go back and alter the characters or generate something else without it. The other part to this, which we talked about on Tuesday, is the length of the password. You can't always just pick 128 characters and hope that it works. Sometimes a website will only take so many. So Bill, back on the password manager, we check that box. So let's go back to Bitwarden. We check the box. Perfect. That's actually better. And it regenerated a password for us. Great. Now, I'm not telling you this because we actually care what the password is. I'm telling you this because sometimes it doesn't refresh properly. Do you see the button that says regenerate password? If you want to be certain that it's actually changed it following your criteria, I suggest clicking that button. Go ahead and click it. Now, you can click it as much as you want, and it'll keep going through randomly generated passwords that don't repeat. You don't really need to worry about what it is unless the website tells you, I don't like that. So we're going to go ahead and copy the password, the button right below it. You don't have to do this step. You could just click the check mark at the bottom, which we're now going to do. That blue, is that a blue check or black? I can't quite tell.
It's blue.
There you go. So blue. So it has generated a password for us. The last step, it is slow, isn't it?
Oh, I didn't check it.
Oh, okay. Then the last step inside of the password manager is to put that URL. As we learned earlier, we don't have to put in HTTP, whatever, HTTPS, I can't say it fast, ://. So let's make it easier on ourselves for right now. Right where it says URL1, it says example. Go ahead and just type outlook.com here for me, please. And then at the very bottom, there's the save button, the floppy disk. So you click that, it saved it. So we already copied the password. We could copy it again. There's nothing wrong with clicking that button again, but the question is where. So look at this generated login. We've got the name, outlook.com. We've got the username, BillJames123124 at outlook.com. And then password is in ... We know that's not the password, it's hidden. So Bill, would you mind doing me a favor? Do you see the eyeball? Since this is fake, we can go ahead and show this password. If we click the eyeball, we can actually see what the password is, which is sometimes helpful. Maybe you're looking it up on one device, but entering it on another. So you actually need to look at it, right? The button to the right of that is copy. I want to point out that that button exists in multiple places. It exists in the username. So you could copy the username, paste the username, then copy the password, paste the password. But we just need the password for today. So go ahead and copy the password. And then on your web browser on the left, it's asking us to create a password. So go ahead and click in there. Now, test time. Does anyone remember how we paste into this field? What's that keyboard shortcut? Well, let me ask it. What's the keyboard shortcut on Windows? There you go. Control V as in Victor. Yep. Now, you can try right-clicking, but a lot of times the password field has disabled that. So it's really important, if you're doing it this way, to just remember two keyboard shortcuts. Control C as in cat, Control C to copy, Control V as in Victor to paste, okay? Peace sign, Control V. So we've done that. Now we don't do this, Bill. Now we would normally click the next button. If we do that, you're going to create a new account for yourself. So we're not going to do that. So at this point, the password manager has done its job mostly. We would just follow the prompts and finish signing up for an account, just like that. I want to show you a different way. Bill, do you have the browser extension installed?
No, but I can.
Okay. And while you're looking at that, Mr. Kennedy, I believe we had a third that offered to share their screen. I'd like to give someone else a chance to share if they'd like. Is that correct?
I'm not
Yes,
quite sure. I'm not quite sure how long Bill can do it, but Bill Vlach was going to do it.
Okay.
He has
Yeah, I'm gonna
to
have
too.
I'm lost, so you pick me.
Well, being lost might be a good demo.
I think therefore I was.
Are you sure you don't want to try it?
Okay, we've got Anita here. She finally got in,
Go
so
ahead.
she had volunteered to help. So let's get her on the center stage.
Okay. So I'm not seeing her yet. Is it one of the non-videos? Oh
No,
yeah.
you-
Okay.
You,
I
you
see
can
it.
use me. It's fine.
Okay. So let me ask Anita this. Anita, it looks like you're unmuted. How far along have you gone with Bitwarden at this point?
I did the homework.
Oh, good job. So we've got the Bitwarden downloaded. You created your account
Yeah.
and you created a password for it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Very good. Did you install the web, what is it called? The web extension yet?
I don't think so.
Good. Yay.
It wasn't
Anita.
I didn't do it.
That's okay. So Bill, hang tight. Anita, go ahead and share your screen because perfect timing. Let's install the web extension. So to share your screen, you will see a share button at the bottom middle of the screen. When you click it the first time, you're already there. Okay, good job. I love it. So we're going to go back to a web browser, and you're already there. We're going to type in bitwarden.com, or we can type bitwarden.com/download, your choice, dealer's choice. Okay, so now we go to download. And this time, instead of going to the computer section of it, we're going to look for browser extensions. Now, do you know which web browser you're using? I can tell, but do you know which web browser you're using?
Chrome.
Very good. This is important to know. You need to know which one to click. So let's scroll down on this page until we see the word Chrome. It'll be an icon as well. It's not too far down. Oh, I'm sorry. We haven't clicked download. Hold on. Back up. Click download first. Whoops. See, even the teacher messes up sometimes. There we go. Now you could scroll down, and now you will see Chrome as one of the options. So go ahead and click that. And this is a little bit different than downloading on a computer. We're going to add an extension. It's called extensions in Chrome. So on the top right corner of this window, big old blue button, add to Chrome. That's all we do. It will probably ask a few questions, so don't click. We're going to read them. Want to see what they say. There's actually a very important question that you need to think about. We talked about earlier incognito windows or private windows. When you install a browser extension, that needs to enter information into the web browser itself, it will often say, hey, would you like to allow this in incognito mode or in private browsing mode? Did you already click that add to Chrome button?
No, I did not.
Okay, go ahead and click that for me, Anita. So here's the first prompt. Obviously, we don't want to cancel. So what are we going to click?
Add extension.
You got it. So we click that, and then we wait. We wait. And we wait. Apparently it's checking something. Da, 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 da. Wow, that is taking a long time. Is there a pop-up on? There we go. Okay, that's what I was expecting. So Bitwarden didn't prompt us to enable it in incognito mode, so that's fine. It did open up a new tab. Now this new tab is helpful, so I don't want you to close it right away. If Bill, not Bill James, the other Bill, this would be a great place to go back and review. What I like about videos, I don't know about you, is that you can play and pause and rewind and slow it down and speed it up, right? So this is a good place to start. We're not going to do that now. So Anita, would you mind closing this, not the whole browser, but just this tab? If you look at the top of Chrome, she probably knows already how to do it. Go up a little more. You'll see little X's. Keep going. Then go to the left, your other left. There you go, right there. Click that. So that closes the new tab that it opened up. And you'll notice now instead of saying add, it says remove. We don't want to do that. We're good to go. So now I'm trying to figure out where it went because I don't see it. So this is going to be a mystery, of course, right? Chrome did change, so I think I know what happened. In the Chrome, well, above, let's see. Do you see the URL that says chrome.google.com and all that other stuff that follows it? Good. To the right of that is your picture. So look at your picture. Don't click it. To the left of that, I believe, is what we need. There we go. So let's go ahead and click that and see if we can turn on the Bitwarden extension. Okay, good. Now, here's the deal with Chrome. This is important. The behavior of Chrome has changed recently. I did a workshop a couple months ago, and we couldn't figure out where the extension was. It said it was installed, and we were lost. I figured it out. So you get the benefit of not being first. Do you see where it says Bitwarden-free password manager, and then there's a pin?
Yes.
Go ahead and click the pin for me, please. And magically, it shows up. So by default, the extensions no longer are pinned to the toolbar. Where did it pin? If you go back to where your picture is, and you look to the left where we first clicked, and you look to the left again, you'll see the icon for Bitwarden. So there's an extra step in Chrome, which drives me nuts. I'm sure they have a valid reason for it, but you need to know where it is. So let's...
Where is it going to live ultimately? Up there on the top or down below?
Actually, both for you. I believe you installed it on your computer.
Yes.
So it's in both places. You actually do want it in the web browser because you want it to autofill web pages for you.
Okay, so can I drag it down to this ribbon down here? So
Nope, that's a different bar.
Okay.
That's your favorites. These are extensions. They live in a different location.
Okay.
Now, if you get more extensions, you can move it around, but you've only got one so far, so you don't have much of a choice.
Okay.
So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and click the Bitwarden icon, the extension icon. The first time you install it, it's going to ask you to sign in. So go ahead and click it. Before you sign in, I just want to do public service announcement. Remember, the sign in is going to show your email address. So if you don't want to do that, Anita, we're going to stop right here, and I'll stop unsharing your screen. If you're okay with showing your email address, then by all means click login and we'll keep going.
Well, everybody knows it anyway,
There you go.
right?
Yes.
There are no secrets.
That's right. It was already showing elsewhere and I went, oops, oh, well, what can I do? It's already there. Now, you already created your account. You did your homework. So you would just enter your master password and then you would log in. So I'm going to stop there for a minute because time flies when you're having fun. Can you believe we have 8 minutes left? 8 minutes left in the first round of the workshop. There's a lot. I don't want you to be discouraged. I want you to remember that this is a new paradigm. This is something new for all of us. Don't get frustrated. Grab your beverage of choice if you need to calm down and have fun. This is not meant to be hard. There you go. Judy's got something. It's not meant to be hard in the long run. It's hard in the beginning. Remember, anytime you learn a new skill, it's always a challenge, right? But once you get used to it, I promise you, it will make it easier. You will be more secure. You will have the ability to click, and it fills in and you're ready to go. So what I want to do, and I'm sorry, Bill, you got out of it today, okay? But we definitely could do more of these. So if I can schedule time, I will. I want to take questions while we have some time left. So John, not John Kennedy, John S., you've got your hand up. I just went ahead and clicked ask to unmute. So go ahead and unmute yourself and speak to us, my friend.
I also put it in chat.
Okay.
Isn't copying passwords to the clipboard a serious security flaw?
If it stays in the clipboard, yeah, it can be.
How do you clear the clipboard?
Well, it depends on different computers. So I'm not as familiar with Windows. On my iOS device, well, actually, I think it's a Bitwarden setting. In Bitwarden, there was a setting, and it might be LastPass. Again, I've used multiple password managers. There's a setting that says clear the clipboard after so much time. So I have turned that on. As a matter of fact, let me just look real quick. Let me share my screen because that is a really good question. And let me go to Bitwarden and just see if it's there. So inside the app, this is getting a little advanced, so don't worry if your head's spinning, I promise. This is not that important yet. It will be. Okay, here we go. Did you see it? Clear clipboard. Never, not a good idea. 10 seconds, that's a little short. 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, and 5. So this is where you can control it for Bitwarden itself. Now in the OS, I actually am going to stop and say, I don't know if you can do it in the OS, now that I think about it. Windows people, can you clear the clipboard after a certain amount of time?
Yes, I just Googled it.
Good. How do you do it, Craig?
You go to Windows Settings, you navigate to System Clipboard, and there's a button that says Clear Clipboard Data. So pretty easy.
There you go.
And my guess is Mac OS does something similar.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of have to look for your clipboard manager.
Would you put that in chat, please?
Yes, I will.
I knew you would. Thank you.
Ken, I have a chat. I just sent you a chat. This is Berkey Graham.
Okay.
My video doesn't work, sorry.
That's okay.
I asked you before. So the guy, what's his name? Steve, who put the Amazon in there as an existing password. Now, I thought the system will create a new password. That is just for the system to recognize Amazon, right? So I thought we'll get new password, not only from brand new items, but all the existing items that I'm going to put in there that I have already passwords for. So.
Yeah. So to clarify that, this is something that can be confusing. Think about your logins right now. If it's something you already have, Bitwarden can't generate something for you because you've already created it. So Stephen had an Amazon account already.
Yeah.
So he has to put in the real password.
So what's the use of this whole Bitwarden then?
Well, phase 2
okay.
is once you get your passwords in there,
right.
and this is what I did, and you got to take time.
Regenerate them or something.
Sorry, I was talking over you. What'd you say?
I'm sorry. So then you edit them and regenerate a new password.
Bingo.
Okay, got it.
Bingo. Now, since you're asking that question, and I know you're going to jump into it right away, may I show you a best practice?
Yes, I love it.
Okay, good. So I'm going to, here's a good example. So here's my iTunes account. Now, I'm not going to show you my password because I do have my credit card attached to it. I don't want you buying stuff on iTunes. So that's the real password. Okay. But sometimes when you go to change a password, it will say, sure, I'll let you change it, but what was your last password? And since it doesn't really matter anymore, I put it in the clear in the notes field.
You told her that Tuesday something. Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So let's do, all these are valid logins. So let me create a new one. Oh, actually, I still have my stuff from Bitwarden. Oh, maybe not. Hang on.
Craig, I said, hey, I think you need to do the step before that. You have to go to the website of the account to make sure that you can find where to change the bad password.
Yep.
And then once you know where you can change the password, then you go and get a new password. But you've got to be able to go to that website first and get to where it'll let you change a password.
Ah,
Yep.
okay.
Correct.
So, and you do that for every item that you already have that you put in there.
Correct.
You got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, got it. I'm done. Thank you very,
Good.
very much. Yeah.
So this fake ID that I entered, I'd copy the password, I'd edit, and
Yeah.
I'm going to just delete all this. So today is what, the 1st? Wow. So this is my, and I'll put a note, old password. I paste. Okay, so there's my old password. This is a fake account. And then I can generate a new one. Now, what John was saying is, oh, I don't want that. I want an actual password. What John was saying is, this doesn't change the password on the website. This is just telling our Bitwarden manager that I'm changing it. So I need this, the old password, to go to this to create the new password, which will be this. So this is where it gets a little challenging.
And then copy it and paste it.
You got it. But once you get to this step, you're already more advanced. I'd be very proud of you if you're at this step already, honestly.
No, that's just what I needed it for. Okay, I got it. Yeah, thank you very much. Perfect. Yes.
The link.
Did you guys get anything out of today? Yes, no?
Yes, a lot.
Oh, that's good. I got some thumbs up.
Tuesday and today, yes. So now I know the whole deal about Bitwarden. Once you got it.
Well, you just volunteered to teach the next one, so be ready, okay?
Okay. Judy knows me. Maybe I will.
What prison is a warden a bit of?
Took me a second to figure out what he was asking.
Okay, folks. Well, it is 9 o'clock. I will, as long as John allows me to, I will stay on. This is a process, and I want you to feel comfortable starting into it. So I would ask for your feedback to Judy, saying whether you do want to do a second session. We have scratched the surface, and then we will work together to try to find some time to do it, okay? Stephen, I can't see. You have a question, or you're doing something? It's hidden with your name. Oops. Are you doing sign language? Bye, Bob. I just asked unmute. There you go.
I was looking, did you already do a video on this for APCUG? Because I was
Yes.
looking for it and I couldn't find it.
I did 2 videos already.
You
So
mean,
there
are
was
they in the APCUG YouTube vault?
John or Judy. I'll let you answer. Judy?
I couldn't find it.
Did you attend the August 15 VTC?
The office, which?
August 15 Virtual Technology Conference?
Office 15.
August, A-U-G-U-S-T.
Oh, August 15. No, well, no, okay, I'll take a look there. Okay.
If you attended the August 15 Virtual Technology Conference, you received an email from me a couple of days ago with the updated YouTube video URLs.
Okay, I'll take a look.
If you received the email that I sent out to everybody last night with the handouts, there's the link to Tuesday's YouTube video there.
Okay, well, I'll take another look because I didn't see it.
That's okay. Nobody reads my email.
No, I do.
But I didn't get it, Judy. This is Paula.
Paula, were you at Tuesday's meeting?
Yes.
You were not on the attendance list, and you weren't on the registration list. That's why you didn't get it.
Oh well, I was there all the 2 hours or whatever.
Who sent the link to you?
You.
You're not on the registration list, kiddo.
Well, I did register, and I have the link. How could I get the link? I got the answer, said thank you for registering. Here's the link.
We'll talk later.
Okay, no big deal.
Is it, Judy? Is there some way of looking up videos that we did not attend? I mean, I have schedules, you have schedules, and that we can go back and look up ones according to topic or something like that, so I could see what one or the other ones that Kenneth happened to do?
Did you attend the August 15th Virtual Technology Conference?
No, no, I didn't.
Okay. All right. You can Google it to go to YouTube, APCUG's YouTube channel. Everything is listed up there.
Okay, okay,
There's many hundreds of them.
okay,
And you will not find Tuesdays. Tuesdays is unlisted
okay.
because that's just for the people who attended it. In a couple of weeks, I'll make it open to everybody.
Okay.
You guys deserve first look since you were there.
Thank you. Thank
Judy's
you.
policy.
By the way, there's a few questions in private chat for me, so this is the first time I've had an opportunity to check it, so let me try to see who's on. Someone asked to talk about the difference in pricing. I did do that on Tuesday, but I'll say it real quick because it's just Bitwarden. Bitwarden is free or $10 a month or...
No, $10 a year.
I'm sorry, $10 a year. I'm sorry. Free, $10 a year, or there's another one that's more, but I think it's like $15 a year. I pay the I pay for the $10 a year. There's like a family account in there.
And there's also an enterprise account.
Correct, yeah. Do you know what the price of the enterprise is?
I thought it was like $15 a month or something.
So that's the one I'm thinking of, yeah. So that was one question. Bill, one of the bills, we got a couple bills. How do I put email accounts? I've got my email accounts in mail.
Let me jump in a second while you do that, because there is a poll available for how many people are interested in another session with Kenneth. So if you would, please answer the poll before you leave.
So Bill, what were you asking? Pardon me, now I'm hiccuping. What were you asking about the email accounts?
Well, my thought was, I had somebody hack one of my email accounts, and so I want to hide these email accounts that they might have gotten, but now they can no longer look into them. And so I thought, well, I can certainly change the passwords with LastPass, but can I hide these somehow in Bitwarden?
Hide the password or the email address?
Well, whatever. Will Bitwardens help me somehow with somebody detecting? And I don't know.
Okay, I see. So there's a lot in that question. Bitwarden is an open source tool, meaning the code to it can be viewed, and it's been audited actually quite a bit. Just recently, it was re-audited. It's been hacked once that I know of, and all the hackers got was junk. It was all encrypted. So Bill, if you create the password inside Bitwarden and save it in Bitwarden, and somebody gets access to your vault, the only way they can get into it is with the master password to unlock it. So Bitwarden will protect that password.
But I sign into, when I go into Yahoo, right? I type in the password, or actually it's live on my in mail, you know. But I can change it. But now, how do I hide it?
Maybe I didn't understand the question. So you're in your web browser and it shows up in the browser, that mail icon, or?
Well, no, it doesn't show up. But I'm wanting, you know, because there have been claims that they found out my password because somebody actually saved copies of an email from an account that I've killed.
Yeah, I got you. So Yahoo actually was hacked a couple times. So in that case, what you'd want to do is go in and change the password to something else. And then when Yahoo likely gets hacked again, use Bitwarden to change the password yet again. It's not your fault. They actually haven't done a very good job with security.
Okay.
There's really nothing you can do but keep changing it, or close the account and use a different service. Although somebody told me closing the account was a bad idea too. So,
Yeah, I had a Qualcomm exec PC. It's the one they hacked originally. And they emailed me something, and it had an attachment that could have had my social security number on it, but I didn't open it just in case, you know.
Gotcha.
So I've frozen all the accounts like you a good practice type thing. But I wondered if there's some way that I could protect my email accounts from somebody hacking them.
Not when they're not protecting it, but Judy has a comment to that.
Okay.
When Bill goes into his Yahoo account, it's automatically going to fill in his password, correct?
Yes.
And nobody can see anything but stars. So if they get it from Yahoo, they're not getting it from your account. They're getting it because they hacked Yahoo. Yahoo is now owned by Verizon, and they're not good keepers. If you want to open another email account, I suggest Gmail. I haven't heard of them being hacked. And then you just send information to everybody in your contacts list and say, this account will be open for a month. After that, I want you to use this address, Love and Kisses Bill, and actually leave it open for a little more than a month. And after whatever, close your Yahoo account and go with the people that you sent them new address to. That's what I recommend.
Well, that I was the Yahoo account that they may have looked into is all junk mail anyway. But I have files in there, so I'd want to somehow save the files to another account. You understand?
You can export stuff from email accounts.
Okay. Yeah, I want to interrupt here. I'm sorry, Bill. We've got a few more questions. I'll do these real quick. Jack, great question. If I put Bitwarden app on 3 devices, does everything sync across all 3? Yes. How? When you log in with your username and your password, it goes to the cloud and syncs it. So the password is what decrypts it, but that's how they sync back and forth, logging in and logging out. Bill, if you want to ask, or Jack, if you want to ask a follow-up to that, go ahead and unmute yourself. But there's one more question. Bob Baxter has a question. And Jack, did you have a follow-up to that before he asked?
Very plainly. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Bob?
In the extension version, is there a way to control how long it stays active? I've found that using the extension, anytime I go someplace, that thing's alive, and it scares me because anybody who happens to borrow my machine for some reason, not likely, but it's possible, they got access to everything.
Yes, so there is. John, is it okay if I reshare my screen? Would that mess up the poll?
No.
Okay. I'll show you where it is, Bob. You ready?
There's a couple of different choices.
So if you look, I got to move this out of the way. I'm sorry. If you look in the extension and you look in settings, vault timeout. Oh, damn it. Everything's popping in front. Okay, hold on. Vault timeout. So mine is, the poll keeps jumping in front, so I'm sorry. So mine says immediately, so it'll lock it right away. 1 minute, 5:15. So this is one way that I know. Now, John said there's another. Please share, because I don't know the other way.
Well, you make sure that you don't have your password memorized.
Yes. So inside your, well, this is Edge, but it's very similar. You can ask your browser to remember its passwords. I don't do that. So I don't know where it is in Edge.
You can also, it's within Bitwarden. It says, remember my name and stuff. So yeah, just don't let it do that, and make sure you have it when you close out of the browser. That's the best way. Close out the browser, and then nobody can get in unless they log in again.
Bob, did that answer your question?
So Ken, could you show me once again, because it's so small, I couldn't see where you got to the settings.
I'm sorry. Let me try something real quick. I forget that I'm on a Retina display. So let me change the resolution before I reshare.
A wretched display?
A wretched display, yes. Wow, this is going to be big. Bob, if you can't see this, bless you. Because I don't even know if I could maneuver. Here we go. The poll is everywhere. It says, no, I want to go here. Okay, share. Is that big enough for you?
I think so, so point to it.
Oh, hold on, I got to move stuff out of the way. Okay, right here.
Okay, on there, and I right click on that and I get some option.
Nope. You left click, normal click.
Left, okay.
So you click that, you go to settings,
There. Okay, down at the bottom of that window.
and then
I'm
vault
not sure I've seen
timeout.
that before. Okay. Thank you very much.
Very good. You're welcome. Okay, I gotta fix my resolution because
Yeah. I think the best one is to on a browser reboot, so that as long as you've got your browser open, you don't have to keep doing it after time. But if you close out the browser, then the vault's closed.
back to normal. Okay. So are there any other questions that I'm having trouble seeing now because I've got randomness popping up everywhere? What the heck is Bitwarden doing? Let me, okay. I'm kind of stuck in Zoom. I don't know what's going on. So are there any other questions that I can't see? Ask now or forever hold your peace until we meet again. Judy?
Are we going to have handouts, John?
Well, there might be a video.
So other than that?
Haven't talked with Kenneth about that.
Okay.
There was nothing that he had to share that's in a handout format.
Okay, that's all I needed to know, but I'd like MCR to know that he or she will not be getting the links to anything, because MCR in my world doesn't exist.
Yep.
Dorothy, you had a question. It's a good question. If I'm using LastPass, do you suggest switching? That's a loaded question. So full disclosure here, I use LastPass at work and I hate it. So I'm probably the wrong person to ask, okay? I find LastPass more difficult to use than Bitwarden. So in my opinion, in my humble opinion, yeah, I would switch, but you're already used to LastPass. So you've got to decide there if it's worth learning something new. I think it is.
Well, while we were on here, I exported my LastPass to a CSV file, and it looks pretty ugly because the first column is like that long of the website, and I broke it into on an Excel spreadsheet. Will that import? The CSV file will import to Bitwarden?
Oh, it's a good question. So let me see if I understand this. You exported to CSV and then you said, oh, I'm going to look at it. Okay, don't do that because it's going to drive you nuts. Export it. Good job. Step one. And then go ahead and just import it. Don't look at it and see what it does in Bitwarden.
Oh, okay. Well, it said at the top of the screen to save it in an Excel workbook, because the formatting wouldn't be right. So I did both. I've got both files.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can work it out.
I did the LastPass to Bitwarden with no problems at all.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to learn about Bitwarden because I have a lot of friends and a lot of people in the computer club that use pieces of paper and notebooks, as you know. And I just thought it appears to be easier to learn than LastPass.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Did I miss any other questions, folks? I'm scrolling quickly through it.
Anita found sent in one.
Go ahead. What was the question?
If, say I have a utility bill account, my husband signs in with a password. Do I change the password even though we both use the same email address?
Do you love your husband?
When it comes to computers, no. I'm confused what the utility company will see with two different people coming into the same account.
Do you right now use the same password to get in?
Yes.
They don't know that it's two people. There's only one name on the account, and you set up the password, and because one of you gave the other the password, you both can get in. So they have no care about your password. But if you want a more secure one, change it, and then he has to know it too.
What about if we each went into this account with a different Bitwarden password?
That's not going to work.
Yeah, you can't.
That won't work.
The
Okay.
utility will only let you use one password for that one account.
But we have 2 different Gmail accounts. We
That's
have 2
true.
Matter. The utility company only knows one email address and one password.
Okay, got it. Thanks, guys.
Now, I would suggest changing it, which is really, I think, what you were asking. I think changing it to a more secure password is just a great idea.
Will do. Thanks.
But again, you've got to go into their account and find where you change the password.
Yep, I will.
And then what restrictions they have, like, you know, was talked about tonight, limits, characters, and then you can generate as good as you can.
Great. Thanks.
I was going to say, when I started doing it, I got all my passwords on an Excel spreadsheet so I could read them from my notebook. And then I made it a project. I would do like 3 passwords a day because it takes a lot of time to go to each website and dig in and find out where you change the password. So then you want to go change it, but then you need to copy and paste. So, 3 a day I started with, and then once you get on a roll, you will do more, So I had over 380 to do.
Good tip. Really good tip.
Yeah.
Anything else before I pass out?
John?
Yes, John.
What specifically do you not like about LastPass?
Oh, that's a great question. So when you remember this, okay, I like the application, the standalone application. When I started using LastPass, sorry, did somebody say something? Okay, just a random noise there. When I
closed my mic.
Oh, when I started using LastPass, I launched the app. I went in and I went, where's this? And then I was doing simple things like adding in a new field to do a security question. And then my boss said, oh yeah, you need to use the browser extension. I went, fine. So I go into the browser, and once you get out of the extension, because everything I do is in a browser, I switch over, it closes it. So I have to go back to the extension. I have to type in what I was looking for again. And unfortunately, my experience is also tampered with. I have a duo authentication. So every time it closes, it says, hey, I don't know who you are. Go to your phone and prompt. So I'm basically doing it 3 or 4 times just to get one thing done, and it's driving me nuts. If I had a standalone app, I could open the app, do what I need to do, and move on. So it's really not LastPass per se. It's the fact that the standalone app appears to be inferior to the plugin. I also don't like the interface. I think it's kind of ugly. For me, you remember, this is opinion. It doesn't set logically in my head, but I also came from 1Password. So Bitwarden and 1Password look very similar. I am basically a diehard user of one app, and I don't want to change, damn it. So I'm staying the way I am.
You also like it because it's open source.
Well, yes.
Well,
Yep.
that's a big plus.
Yes, it is.
And LastPass has been hacked.
Yes, they have. 1Password, by the way, has not. So there's that. 1Password's actually my favorite password manager, but they upset me when they took all my money, and then they said, oh, now you have to pay per month. But I gave you $400 already. Why do I have to pay? It's just the way they changed. It's a great password manager. It's a great, great, great password manager. It's ranked #1 with Consumer Reports for good reason. But it's expensive. Bitwarden's $10 a year. And open source. And works on Linux. So.
Or free.
Or free, yes. Although so is 1Password and LastPass, but there's limitations on it.
Well, yeah, you get what you pay for.
Yep.
Well, I want to thank Kenneth for doing these 2 sessions. We will be talking with him about maybe possibly doing a future 3rd session for questions and answers and help. As Judy said, the video will be private posted for you if the video recording is good. You know, you never know with technology. I'd like to remind you that we have next Wednesday the Home Automation Part 2 workshop, and the fourth Wednesday of the month we will have our first of our number Linux workshop, sponsored all by APCUG. And then November 7th will be our next VTC, and we hope to see all of you then. Our annual meeting will be at 3 o'clock Eastern that time. Everyone is invited, especially officers, to see what goes on with the APCUG itself. And that's about everything that's coming up in the next few weeks or so. So thank you so much for attending both nights. Ken's work schedule made it an evening one instead of an afternoon one like we've been doing. And I'll share with Ken that we had about 25, 28 people who said they would be interested in attending. So if that's all, thanks so much, and we will plan on getting together again soon. Have a great night.